Kaya, ngan Richard Wally, ngan Mort Wajak, Baladong, Yuat, Wardan, Yamaji, Kaya. Berenjarab, Ninjana, Maya Koro Mort. Hello, my name is Richard Wally. I have connections to the Wajak, Baladong, Yuat, Wardan, Berenjarab and also Yamaji in the southwest of Western Australia.
Hello, my name's Professor Len Collard. I am a Wajak Noongar person and I'm going to speak to you in Noongar.
When you're involved with language, you open yourself up to all sorts of energies and all sorts of inspirations. And when you're actually speaking with words, you awaken dormant words and narratives that are deep within you.
Kaya, ngan Quella Len Collard. I'm a Noongar Marman, ngan Wanganin, ngala Noongar Da.
It's akin to knowing a song from when you were a kid and you don't hear it for years and years, then all of a sudden that song comes on the radio and you go, I remember this song. It takes you back to a point, a place, but you also remember the words within that song. So it's the same thing, it links you all the way through.
What is it that drives you, Len, in your work, preserving Aboriginal languages and telling the stories?
Well, it gives me something to do. It gives me motivation to get up in the morning and pursue my responsibilities and obligation as a language carrier and a man that manufactures cuttage. Cuttage and birnin bidi nunokata yarn ngan nicha ngan. This is what I do. You ask me, this is what I do.
You find all of a sudden you've got access to this information, but it's already been fed into you. It's like an early data entry that's there and you keep it until you require it.
As a young man, my grandfather, Yalakich Benel, charged me with the responsibility to be a language man. And he said to me as a boy, Buruan, Abola Maman, Yoga, Wajala Nyunga, Wanga Murangin, Balang Yao Kulin, Janangin Ni, Nuna Dalangin. Buramaman, Nunok Janangin Nija.
You talked about walking in two worlds. What did you mean by that?
When you participate in any life's activities, there's different worlds you walk into. There's a traditional world, the Aboriginal world, where things are what they are, and they are based on what we call the energies and the connection to people, land, place. Whereas the other world is the world where you're looking at where you actually fit. And so the two worlds are completely opposite.
And he said, when you become a man, this is what happened, is that people will come and speak to you because you're to be the Bridia of the language of our homelands, and it's your responsibility, grandson, to take charge and carry this capacity.
The Aboriginal world, you've already got respect. It's given to you. The non-Aboriginal world, you've got to earn respect. In the Aboriginal world, it's like the quantum physics. We're into the wave, we're into the energies, the feelings, the connections. The non-Aboriginal world is more into the particle. It's into the assets, what your position is, where you are in your society. So it's two different worlds.
You know, throughout your whole life, you're being trained and you're being engaged and you're being charged, trying to take that responsibility. So there was never a time where suddenly the penny dropped and now I'm going to be a Noongar language expert. I mean, that was part and parcel of growing up, basically.
Once you understand the language, you're able then to communicate. And if it's a language that's got essence to it and it's got a history to it, a relevance to it, then you can feel that point of communication is a wonderful, pure point of communication.
If you were to look forward and you could see the future in 5 years' time, what would you like that future to look like from the Noongar perspective?
That all people in the Noongar lands, whether they Noongars or not, speak in the language of our country. And I think that would be something to see in the future.
It's fantastic when you do the language, particularly with your own people, and they understand, if not all, they understand 50 to 80% of what you're speaking about. That's fantastic. Because then you're actually using it at what it's designed for. Language is a communication.
We understand that our version of English is actually Australian. So one, I'd like to get more Australians to learn how to speak Australian, which then segue them down to the local regional parts of Aboriginal Australia to be able to speak in the language of the lands where they live. So for example, if you live in Kalgoorlie, well, I think that you'd learn to speak in the language of the Wongais in Kalgoorlie. Or if you live in Menang country in Albany, you speak Menang Noongar as a part of your everyday speech. So we start to Australianise our capacity to communicate in the words and the meanings of this land. That's a real Australian story, and that's a vision that I would love to see in 5 years' time. So when I speak to you next time, kaya nguni ya kolinwa nuno kada karijan nganda nicha burning dalangin nganyungawa. So you at English, no more English. We speak Australian. That would be my vision that I'd like to see in 5 or 10 or 20 years.